cargo ship arrives at a port completely empty. The ship weighs roughly 60,000 tons on its own without any cargo. But empty ships are dangerous. An empty ship sits too high in the water. The exposed hull above the waterline becomes unstable in rough seas. The exposed propeller operates less efficiently. An empty ship that encounters large waves might roll excessively or even capsize. Additionally, an empty ship without cargo consumes fuel inefficiently. The fuel consumption per unit of cargo capacity is terrible. So empty ships cannot simply travel across oceans without cargo. They need weight. If no cargo is available, they need ballast. Ballast is weight that's deliberately added to stabilize the ship and improve its efficiency. But where does this weight come from? What substance is used as ballast? How is it loaded and unloaded? How does the crew manage thousands of tons of ballast water constantly during a voyage? The answer involves a sophisticated system hidden entirely beneath the waterline. Today we're exploring the engineering inside a ship's ballast system and understanding why this system is critical to modern maritime commerce. The basic concept of ballast is simple. Weight is needed. Water is the logical choice because it's available everywhere, it's free, and it has minimal environmental impact if managed properly. A ship carries ballast tanks, compartments designed to be filled with seawater. When the ship is empty and needs weight, the crew pumps seawater from the ocean into the ballast tanks. When the ship is loaded with cargo, the crew pumps the ballast water back out, replacing it with cargo. The relationship is direct. As cargo weight increases, ballast weight decreases. The ship maintains roughly constant total weight. This maintains optimal performance and stability. But the system is far more complex than simply pumping water in and out. The ballast tanks are strategically located throughout the ship to maintain trim and stability. Forward ballast tanks add weight to the bow. Aft ballast tanks add weight to the stern. Side ballast tanks add weight to the port and starboard sides. The crew must carefully manage which tanks are filled and how much water is in each tank to maintain proper trim. Trim is the difference in draft between the bow and stern. Optimal trim for a loaded ship is different from optimal trim for an empty ship. The ship must be trimmed correctly for its current loading condition. The ballast system comprises multiple major components. The first component is the ballast tanks themselves. These are compartments within the ship's hull designed to hold seawater. They're typically located in the double bottom of the ship, in the sides, and in the top side of the hull. The tanks are constructed from steel and are part of the ship's structure. The tanks have inlet and outlet pipes that allow water to flow in and out. The tanks also have overflow pipes that prevent overfilling. The tanks might have internal baffles that divide them into sections. These baffles allow independent control of water level in different sections. The second major component is the pump system. Large centrifugal pumps driven by electric motors move water between the ocean and the ballast tanks. A typical ballast pump on a large cargo ship might be able to pump thousands of tons of water per hour. The pump is powered by electricity generated by the ship's generators. During ballast loading, the pump draws seawater from the ocean through a through-hull fitting and forces it into the ballast tanks. During ballast discharge, the pump draws water from the ballast tanks and forces it back overboard. The pump must be powerful enough to overcome the hydrostatic pressure of water, especially when discharging from deep tanks. The third major component is the piping system. Intricate networks of pipes carry water throughout the ship. The main ballast line is a large pipe that connects the pump to various tank inlets. Branch lines connect to individual tanks. Suction lines connect tanks to the pump during discharge. The pipes are made of steel to withstand the pressure and corrosion from seawater. The pipes are insulated where they pass through heated cargo compartments to prevent thermal expansion issues. The piping system must be designed to minimize pressure drops, pressure loss reduces pump efficiency. The fourth major component is the valve system. Valves control the flow of water between the pump, the tanks, and the ocean. Each ballast tank typically has inlet and outlet valves that control whether water can flow into or out of that tank. The pump has inlet and outlet valves. The through-hull fittings have valves that can be closed to prevent water from entering if the hull is damaged. Manually operated ball valves are used in many locations for manual control. Electrically operated solenoid valves are used where remote operation is needed. Pressure relief valves protect the system from overpressure. The valve system is critical to safe and controlled ballast operation. The fifth major component is the control system. Modern ballast systems use sophisticated computer controls that monitor water level in each tank and control the pumps and valves. The control system receives input from level sensors in each tank. Capacitance sensors measure the water level by detecting changes in electrical capacitance of the tank walls as water level changes. The sensors transmit level signals to the central ballast control console. The operator enters commands to pump specific amounts of water into or out of specific tanks. The control system activates the pump and controls the valves to achieve the desired water distribution. The system also monitors pressures throughout the piping system and alarms if pressures exceed safe limits. Different ship types have different ballast system designs. Bulk carrier ships that carry grain or ore have simple ballast systems because they don't require precise cargo distribution. Tanker ships that carry liquids have more complex ballast systems because tank location matters for stability with liquid cargo. Container ships have medium complexity ballast systems. Naval vessels often have highly sophisticated ballast systems that allow rapid transfer of water between tanks to change the ship's trim and angle for tactical purposes. The ballast system design reflects the specific operational requirements of the ship type. The ballast water intake is a critical design element. The seawater intake is typically located several meters below the waterline to ensure it's always submerged. The intake has a strainer that filters out large particles like seaweed, fish, and debris. The strainer prevents clogging of the ballast pump and pipes. The intake might also have a valve that can be closed if contamination is suspected in the seawater. Multiple intakes allow selection of the cleanest water source if the ship is in a port area with polluted water. Ballast water discharge is subject to strict environmental regulations. Ships cannot discharge ballast water in coastal areas within 12 nautical miles of shore due to environmental protection regulations in many countries. Ships must discharge ballast water in open ocean, where dilution is not a concern. Some ports require that ballast water be treated before discharge to remove organisms. The International Maritime Organization has implemented ballast water management requirements that require ships to either exchange ballast water in deep ocean before entering coastal areas or to treat ballast water to remove organisms. These regulations exist because ships can carry millions of organisms in ballast water that can damage ecosystems if released in new locations. Ballast water treatment systems are increasingly common on modern ships. These systems kill organisms in ballast water before it's discharged. Treatment methods include ultraviolet light, which damages organisms' DNA, making them unable to reproduce. Another method is electrochemical treatment that uses electrical current to kill organisms. Some systems use mechanical filtration combined with biocide injection. These treatment systems add cost and complexity to the ballast system, but they're necessary to comply with environmental regulations and prevent introduction of invasive species to new ecosystems. The trim and stability computer system works closely with the ballast system. The crew enters information about cargo loading, fuel consumption, and water consumption into the computer. The computer calculates the ship's center of gravity and optimum ballast distribution. The computer displays recommendations about which ballast tanks to fill and how much water to place in each tank. The crew then manually commands the ballast system to implement the recommendations. Some advanced systems can be programmed to automatically adjust ballast distribution to maintain optimal trim as cargo is loaded or as fuel is consumed. Ballast system maintenance is critical for safe operation. The ballast pumps must be regularly inspected and serviced. Corrosion is a constant problem in the ballast system because seawater is extremely corrosive. Steel pipes and tanks must be protected by paint or coatings. Some shipyards use epoxy coatings that provide excellent protection. Others use sacrificial anodes that corrode preferentially to the steel, protecting the steel from corrosion. The ballast pump intake strainer must be cleaned regularly to prevent clogging. Valves must be inspected to ensure they seal properly. Any leaks must be repaired promptly because water dripping from a leak can cause rust and structural damage. Ballast system operations during loading and discharge of cargo require coordination with the cargo handling crew. As cargo is loaded onto the ship, the weight distribution changes. The ballast system must be adjusted to maintain proper trim and stability. If cargo is loaded forward, ballast water must be moved from forward tanks to aft tanks to rebalance the ship. If cargo is loaded asymmetrically, ballast water must be moved to the appropriate side tanks. The ballast operator must monitor the ship's trim continuously during cargo operations. A ship that becomes severely out of trim can experience structural stress or stability problems. The ballast system is critical during emergency situations. If the ship is damaged and taking on water, the ballast system can be used to shift water and maintain stability while repairs are attempted. If the ship is holed in one location, ballast water can be moved to other locations to keep the ship level. If one side of the ship is taking on water faster than the other, ballast can be pumped from the high side to the low side to maintain stability. The ballast system can literally be the difference between saving the ship and losing it. Different ocean conditions require different ballast distributions. In calm water, the ship can maintain relatively neutral trim with minimal ballast. In rough seas with large waves approaching from specific directions, the crew might adjust ballast to optimize the ship's motion and minimize cargo stress. If waves are approaching from the bow, the crew might add ballast to the bow to reduce pitching. If waves are approaching from the side, the crew might adjust side ballast to optimize rolling motion. The crew's experience and judgment about ballast adjustment is crucial for safe and efficient operation. Ballast system design has evolved significantly over time. Early ballast systems used manual pumps that required crew to physically pump water in and out. Modern systems use powerful electric pumps that can move enormous quantities of water. Early ballast systems required crew to manually operate valves. Modern systems use computerized valve controls. Early ballast systems used simple water level indicators. Modern systems use precise electronic level sensors. These improvements have made the ballast system faster, more reliable, and easier to operate. Future ballast systems will likely become even more automated. Systems are being developed that can automatically monitor the ship's trim and adjust ballast without crew input. Artificial intelligence systems could learn optimal ballast distributions for different loading conditions in sea states. Predictive systems could adjust ballast before instability develops rather than reacting after instability is observed. Some experimental systems are investigating alternative ballast materials that provide the weight of water without the environmental concerns of ballast water discharge. Ballast system failures can be serious. If the ballast pump fails and the ship is in unbalanced condition, the ship must reduce speed or change course to reduce stress on the structure. If the ballast system cannot be repaired at sea, the ship must proceed to port carefully to minimize risk. If the ballast system cannot maintain stability during cargo operations, cargo loading or discharge must be suspended. Ballast system failures are relatively rare because the system is well designed and regularly maintained, but failures do occasionally occur and require careful management. The relationship between ballast and cargo efficiency is fundamental to maritime economics. A A ship that's perfectly balanced with optimal ballast will have minimal fuel consumption per ton of cargo. A ship that's out of trim or improperly ballasted will consume more fuel. Over the life of a ship operating for decades, proper ballast management can save millions of dollars in fuel costs. This economic incentive drives careful attention to ballast system operation. The ship's crew monitors trim continuously and makes small adjustments to maintain optimal performance. Safety regulations require that ships maintain certain minimum metacentric heights and stability characteristics. The ballast system must be capable of achieving the required stability characteristics for all loading conditions. This requirement is built into the ship's ballast system design. The system must have enough ballast tank capacity to allow proper trim and stability in all anticipated loading scenarios. The ballast system must also have the capability to respond rapidly to emergency conditions. Ballast system design standards are enforced by maritime classification societies that review designs before ships are built. Training for ballast system operation is provided to all crew members who operate the system. The training covers the basic principles of trim and stability, the mechanical components of the ballast system, the control system operation, and emergency procedures. Crew members must understand why proper ballast management is important for ship safety and fuel efficiency. They must know how to respond if the ballast system fails or if the ship becomes severely out of trim. The crew's knowledge and competence in ballast system operation is critical for safe ship operations. The ballast system is a perfect example of how engineering solves practical problems. The problem is that ships need ballast water for stability and efficiency. The solution is a sophisticated system that can manage thousands of tons of water, precisely control trim, respond to changing conditions, and comply with environmental regulations. The ballast system uses principles of fluid mechanics, structural engineering, automation and control, and environmental science. Understanding the ballast system reveals how multiple engineering disciplines combine to create a system greater than the sum of its parts. The next time you see a ship, imagine the ballast system working beneath the waterline. Picture the large pump drawing seawater from the ocean and forcing it into the ballast tanks. Visualize the sophisticated computer control system calculating optimal ballast distribution. Imagine the crew monitoring the ship's trim and adjusting the ballast to maintain perfect balance. Understand that the ship's stability and efficiency depend on this hidden system working reliably. This is engineering at its most practical. The ballast system doesn't make headlines. It doesn't capture the imagination like a dramatic rescue at sea. But it's essential to every ship that crosses the ocean. If you're fascinated by how engineering systems solve real-world problems and how multiple technical disciplines combine to create sophisticated solutions, subscribe to the channel. We regularly explore the hidden systems that make modern ships and other complex systems work reliably. Each system reflects years of refinement and responds to specific operational requirements. Understanding these systems reveals principles that apply far beyond maritime technology. Your subscription supports the creation of content that reveals how practical engineering solves real-world challenges. Thank you for watching and for your interest in understanding the sophisticated systems that make global commerce possible.